In a world that often equates happiness with social status, constant interaction, and external validation, solitude can seem like an unwelcome state. Yet, the Stoics, ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, viewed solitude as a powerful tool for personal growth, self-discovery, and inner strength. Far from fearing loneliness, Stoics valued solitude as a way to cultivate resilience and wisdom, offering insights that are just as relevant today. In this video, we'll explore why Stoics aren't afraid to be alone and how embracing solitude can be a path to self-mastery and fulfillment. By understanding Stoic perspectives on solitude, we'll uncover practical ways to harness its benefits, discovering that being alone can be empowering rather than isolating. Let's dive into Stoic philosophy and uncover the transformative power of solitude. Solitude as a space for self-reflection. For the Stoics, solitude was an essential part of self-reflection, a time to step away from the distractions of the world and examine one's thoughts, actions, and intentions. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, advised himself to take time for introspection and reminded himself that inner peace could only be found within. He wrote, "People look for retreats for themselves, in the country, by the coast, or in the hills. There is nowhere that a person can find a more peaceful and trouble-free retreat than in his own mind." By embracing solitude, Stoics practiced examining their beliefs, motivations, and reactions. This reflection allows for a deeper understanding of oneself, an opportunity to evaluate whether actions align with values. In solitude, one can confront weaknesses and acknowledge strengths. The Stoics understood that without time alone, self-awareness is limited and personal growth remains stagnant. In solitude, there is room to reconnect with inner values, guiding choices that align with one's true self. The freedom from external validation. In Stoicism, a central concept is the idea that we should not rely on the opinions of others to define our worth. This philosophy resonates with solitude, as being alone is an opportunity to detach from external validation and discover self-acceptance. Epictetus encouraged focusing only on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes. When we rely on external approval, we give others power over our self-worth. Solitude offers freedom from this dependency. Being comfortable alone allows us to see that self-worth comes from within, not from social affirmation or popularity. Stoics argue that true freedom lies in independence from others' judgments. When we embrace solitude, we can strip away the influence of external voices, realizing that we are enough as we are. This self-acceptance strengthens resilience, as our value becomes rooted in our principles rather than fluctuating with others' opinions. Strengthening mental resilience. Solitude offers a unique environment for building mental resilience. In solitude, there is no one to distract us from our fears, insecurities, or doubts. Instead, we must confront them head-on, developing the courage and fortitude to deal with these inner challenges. Seneca wrote, "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable," underscoring that inner peace requires mastery over our thoughts, not external conditions. Stoicism teaches that we should not fear challenges, and solitude is a powerful challenge to face. By learning to sit with our own thoughts and emotions without distraction, we develop a resilient mind that can withstand the stresses of life. The practice of solitude trains the mind to become self-sufficient and emotionally stable, unshaken by temporary circumstances or the presence or absence of others. In solitude, the Stoics discovered an inner strength that external distractions could never provide. Embracing the present moment. Solitude is an ideal state for practicing mindfulness, a core Stoic principle. In solitude, there are fewer distractions, allowing us to immerse ourselves fully in the present moment. Stoicism encourages living in the present and not being overly attached to past regrets or future worries. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections, emphasized the importance of grounding oneself in the present, recognizing that it is all we truly possess. Without the constant demands of social interaction, Solitude offers the clarity to experience life as it is right now. This focus on the present moment allows us to appreciate the simplicity of being alive, to savor small details, and to cultivate gratitude. By embracing solitude, we can let go of unnecessary distractions and experience a sense of contentment in the here and now. Solitude as a path to wisdom. The Stoics held wisdom in high regard, considering it one of the cardinal virtues. Solitude offers the perfect environment to cultivate wisdom, as it allows for focused study, reflection, and contemplation. Without external chatter, we can think more deeply, ponder life's big questions, and gain insights that might otherwise be drowned out in a busy world. Seneca, a lifelong philosopher, dedicated much of his solitude to reading, writing, and contemplating his values, using time alone as a means to refine his wisdom. Solitude provides time to explore philosophy, reflect on life's purpose, and understand one's place in the world. In moments of silence, wisdom can grow. We can examine our lives, make intentional choices, and develop principles that guide us. Stoic solitude is not about escapism or isolation. It's about deepening one's understanding of life and aligning actions with that wisdom. Reducing the influence of external distractions. Modern life bombards us with constant stimuli, notifications, news, social media, advertisements. Solitude creates a refuge from these distractions, offering a chance to reconnect with our core values without external influence. Epictetus taught that we should avoid being swept away by appearances, focusing instead on our inner values rather than superficial distractions. In solitude, we can silence the noise of the outside world and examine what truly matters. This break from external distractions provides clarity, helping us reconnect with personal goals and values. Instead of reacting to the outside world, we can proactively shape our actions based on internal values. For the Stoics, solitude was a necessary state to reclaim focus and cultivate a purposeful life. Nurturing inner peace. Stoicism places great importance on achieving inner tranquility. This peace of mind is not dependent on external circumstances or social settings, but comes from within. In solitude, we can practice the Stoic virtues of patience, acceptance, and temperance, which contribute to inner peace. Marcus Aurelius encouraged himself to be at peace with the world's uncertainties, reminding himself that only his internal state was within his control. Time alone allows us to practice accepting things as they are, rather than as we wish them to be. When we embrace solitude, we learn to find contentment in simply being, free from the pressures of society. This internal peace, cultivated in solitude, becomes a steady foundation that helps us face life's challenges with calmness and resolve. Fostering self-sufficiency. Stoicism emphasizes self-sufficiency, the idea that we should be able to rely on ourselves for happiness and fulfillment. Being comfortable alone is a powerful way to cultivate self-sufficiency. Seneca often wrote about the importance of preparing oneself to be content in any situation, whether surrounded by friends or in solitude. This self-sufficiency is not about isolation, but about developing a sense of completeness within oneself. In solitude, we learn to appreciate our own company and to be self-reliant. By not depending on others for entertainment, affirmation, or support, we become emotionally resilient and self-assured. This self-sufficiency empowers us to face the world confidently, knowing that our peace and happiness do not rely on external factors. Solitude as a practice of detachment. Detachment is a core Stoic practice, and solitude provides a perfect setting to cultivate it. The Stoics taught that we should not cling to things, people, or situations, as attachment leads to suffering. Instead, they encourage focusing on what is within our control, our responses, attitudes, and actions. In solitude, we can practice detachment by letting go of the need for constant connection or validation. By embracing solitude, we practice non-attachment and learn to find fulfillment within. This detachment doesn't mean we don't value relationships. It means we can appreciate them without becoming dependent on them. When we cultivate this state of inner detachment, we can engage with others freely and authentically, without fear of loss or disappointment. Embracing solitude for a stronger self. In solitude, we find the clarity to reflect, the courage to confront our weaknesses, and the wisdom to live with integrity. Being alone allows us to discover our true values and align our actions with them. As we embrace solitude through the lens of Stoicism, we learn to see it not as isolation, but as an opportunity for growth, freedom, and empowerment. So, take a moment to reflect on your relationship with solitude. How can you use it to reconnect with yourself, build resilience, and cultivate inner peace? Remember, solitude is not the absence of company. It's the presence of self. By embracing Stoic principles, you'll not only learn to be comfortable alone, but also discover the power, strength, and freedom that comes with true self-mastery. Embrace the power of solitude and let it guide you to self-mastery and inner peace. If you found value in this exploration of Stoicism, take a moment to subscribe to Ash Owl, Stoicism for more wisdom and insights. Your journey to a stronger, more resilient self starts here.